Okay, so welcome to another, episode of With the Uplifters. I'm kind of interested in this one in particular. Um, this one is about Rainbow Mosho, and Rainbow Mosho is a younger NFT artist who's been featured actually in the Uplift in a couple different places, primarily in the Rocket Gallery. She's been doing some really interesting things with NFTs and art. And I just recently actually found out about Rogue Girls, which is kind of the latest thing I think that you guys have been working on. And it's interesting to me because it's old school PFP project in a way, where like she's actually created the art herself. But yeah, I think it's interesting for anyone who likes art and anyone who likes education and anyone who likes empowering young people to be all that they can be. So welcome to the show. Tell us who you are. Introduce us to Rainbow Mosho and tell us everything that we need to know to, appreciate everything that's happening here, because there's quite a lot to unpack, actually.
Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy. Great to meet you. Hello, everyone. Hello, the Uplift world. My name is Yadira Calderon, and I am Rainbow Moshe's mom. Rainbow is now a 14-year-old artist, author on the autism spectrum. And here we are, the wonderful opportunities, this new world of the Web3 in development, the metaverse, and everything that is taking place. And we are very fortunate to get to know the Uplift thanks to Andreas from the Rocket Gallery, and thanks to the Flower Girls, and thanks to Mantis. So there's this incredible, powerful connection of how things have come about, and more than anything, how opportunity has been taking place without no one ever making any kind of plan, without having it as a goal. It just happened. So it's just that reaffirmation of what can happen in life. Once again, my daughter, she says that I'm nosy. And as a parent, I will be nosy, and she is the host of the first Twitter space that was ever held for kids. We've been doing it weekly since middle of January. And in the last 3 or 4 spaces, we've been talking about a variety of topics. It's just like, yes, things happen because my mom is nosy, and I will be nosy. I will be that nosy mom who is looking for the opportunities, who is aware of my daughter's talent, and the opportunities that may represent for her future. Mm, Go ahead. Go
So,
ahead.
so yeah, like explain to us this, right? Because I think, right, so you introduced us to this by stating that she's on the autism spectrum. So there might be people out there that don't really understand what that means, and there's definite, challenges to that. So could you just give us a brief breakdown of what that means for her as an individual and some of the challenges that she had to overcome? Because I think it's actually quite impressive that she overcame them, not only in real life, but like to be able to craft art the way that she does and follow her dreams that she loves, right?
Love the question. Indeed. Quick rundown. All children are doing certain things, when they are toddlers, okay? They're running, they're starting to acquire vocabulary, they interact, they socialize, they want to be touching everything. And all of that stopped for Rainbow at 2.5 years old, when she was repeating everything in 3 languages, just achieving milestones that toddlers achieve on time, but everything stopped for Rainbow at 2.5, and she had a massive regression, and she stopped talking. That was huge. She stopped talking. She was losing dexterity, fine and gross motor skills. She was on the floor all the time, and the biggest sign, it was the behavior crisis. How the triggers, they were undescribable, they were unknown. So there were all of these situations, and it is, as a parent, you don't go to school, to learn how to all of a sudden address the needs of your child who is showing completely odd and different behavior. So it was a lot of learning, and I always in all our interviews, I will always say, the internet. We were in Greece at that time. That's where she was born, and it was a wide, a door, an eye opener. And out of the 14 signs that explain that an individual may be on the autism spectrum at that time, and this is like December 2010, when the regression, because it was from 1 week to the next, it was as if she was unplugged. Rainbow had at least, out of 14, she had at least 10. It's like, oh, holy cow. So we try to look for resources there, and our life drastically changed, of course, because you adapt and conquer and you try to find answers. And we got the confirmation in June 2011, moderate to severe autism at that time. And I just began, and I was a 42-year-old mom. So I had had my life. So I was more than ready to immerse myself into this new world and the needs of my child. And it was around, I just found a photo of her, June 2012, and she's in an event, and I was prepared for everything, and they had paint, and she painted her feet, and she was 4 years old then. She painted her feet, and she had paint all over, and she was in her zone. She was soothed. She was calm. So that's item number one. Item number two, a year later, July 2013, we're already in the United States. I came here. Why? Because of the resources and the opportunities, and the challenges that having a child with a disability, with a diagnosis at the time, how it changes your day to day, and the couple, the marriage, just like everyone is influenced, and affected. So we came to the United States in July 2013. She's doing summer school for kids who have a diagnosis, smaller classroom setting, teachers that in that case, she was very fortunate. She had a teacher that was trained. And I told her my big main issue this summer, can you please help her with the holding of a pencil or a pen properly? She's like, oh, I got you, no problem. In 1 week, here comes back my daughter holding the pencil properly. And I told the teacher, what did you do? She says, I used a little golf pencil and I wrapped it with aluminum foil. Why? Because the pencil is small, but then creating an easier grab position for her hand. Wow. So a week after that, this is middle of July 2013, a week after that, Rainbow did her first self-portrait. And it was gorgeous. It's incredible. I have it actually on OpenSea in her Rainbow Mosho publishing account. And she has this huge head, huge ponytails. The eyes are huge, the eyelashes. And here we go. Rainbow drew herself with like 11 fingers per hand, which is so exciting. And that began the whole process, how art became the tool, the go-to to find peace, to find calmness, and to allow her just be. And from sticks and circles, that kids art is all about. And here we have Rainbow. If you go to items created, because here you're seeing everything. And actually, that's the Rainbow Mosho collection. There's another page. It's Rainbow Mosho Publishing all together. And in there, you'll be able to find her. There we go. Yes, and if you go to items created, here's some of the items we've been able to collect, some of the items she's been gifted. And from there we began, and I made sure that she always had pens, markers, watercolors, everything. And of course, we went through the stage of drawing on the wall. And when you rent an apartment and your child draws on the wall, you're just like, no, that's not what we want. But we survived all of. Here she is. Yeah, there at the bottom, in the middle. There's her photo, and that's her first self-portrait from July 2013. And it's magical. A girl at that time who wasn't speaking, who was just doing gibberish, how she was able to show me that she was capable of seeing herself. And It's been a fantastic whirlwind discovery phase. Very difficult. We can speak to any parent out there who is raising a child with a diagnosis, who is still managing, handling, surviving a teen or an adult with a diagnosis. You know, the challenges that represents on the day to day, and when you start to plan for the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's really amazing when we look at how art can transform. And, you know, it's not only art that she's doing. I think she's like engaged in music as well. This like kind of creative side of her brain. In a way, it almost seems like it tends to keep her out of trouble, where other autism kids might have, you know, greater issues because they don't know how to, you know, soothe their minds and their souls and calm down and relax and engage completely and fully into something that, you know, captivates them, which is a really big issue. So I think it's really cool that, you know, she's found that. Now how did how did you guys go from art? Because I mean, like, I get like the art thing is pretty big, right? But how did you guys end up from art into NFTs, right? Like, how did you figure out that, oh, wait a minute, we can not only like do this art, but we can actually like create it as NFTs, and we can put them out there, you know, make a little bit of an income. But I think more importantly, we can put it out there and, you know, showcase the positivity that can come from art, the value that it can bring. Because like, you guys aren't hiding it. Like, you're completely open about the whole fact that like, this is, you know, her situation. This is the life that she lives. And it's quite empowering, actually, I think, for other parents to be able to look and see exactly, you know, what's happening, and other children potentially, you know, that she can connect with on a global level, as opposed to just in the schoolyard, right? So I'm just kind of curious, how did you find NFTs in the first place, and how? Because I would imagine when she first figured out what NFTs were, and like, it's not only the people in the hometown at the market that are seeing her art, but everybody in the world, that was a really big game changer from her perspective as well, right? Like,
Yes, she loves to brag about it. She loves to brag about it, and yes, and she loves to say, "Oh, Flower Girls collected my art. Nyla Hayes collected my art." There's this young man called Kate Bergman, you know, who back in December, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to make somebody happy today on December 24." And when ETH was worth, holy cow, double of what it is now, and here he goes and he bought, you know, one of her pieces of art, Happy Sad. If you go back to the Rainbow Mosho collection, there's a piece called Happy Sad, which she drew her. Yeah, that's the Rainbow of Emotions. Those you see first. Let me see if you scroll down. Yeah, you can keep going. Like, everything has a story with what she creates. Where's Happy Sad? It's part of the rainbow. If you go to the collection Rainbow, the Rainbow of Emotions, in under items, yeah, collections. Yeah, I see that OpenSea looks different now.
let's see where the collections are created, maybe.
Yes, there we go now. It should be on the top together with yeah, those girls at the bottom. That's her being mad because she got sick with COVID back in August, and we were in Puerto Rico. And I told her, just like, you can be mad all you want, but this is happening. So how do you see yourself? And she drew herself, you know, and this is her just with her head on fire, completely incensed.
I love it, man. It's really good. Like, honestly, like, this is better than I can draw. I mean, my wife is a
beautiful
mistress, right?
diversity. Okay. Here on the top, the third one, that is Happy Sad. And again, well, let me say something. Rainbow has gone through a full 180 when it comes to the realities of autism. And she's now verbal, and she's over mega super verbal. And Rainbow is also, before getting into NFTs, Rainbow has published by now 4 books in a year and a half that she's fully illustrated, and she's co-written and fully written, all of them. And so last year, again, just all of these transitions that we are all going through as adults, and as a parent, conscious with intention, I have made sure that I communicate with my child who has a diagnosis, who many times is linked to the reality for many that they cannot express their emotions. Well, my daughter can not only do that now with words. We're very fortunate. We've worked very hard for this. This didn't happen out of the blue. There's been a purpose, step by step, a lot of learning on the way, but now she can also do it with art. So here you have happy, sad, when I asked her, just like, how do you feel? What is life all about? What do you think, makes you happy? So in there, she added the items that make her happy. And I asked her, what makes you sad? And she in there, she put in a cage. She has had some very difficult, challenging experiences. We are now not only dealing with autism, we're also dealing with PTSD, and she has OCD as well. So she, as you see, the broken hearts, feeling in a cage, and the face, the color completely different. So colors, and now the capability of sharing what her emotions are all about with the art, is something that happens. So I reinforce on a daily basis, and the question is asked, with the different events in life, how do you feel? And so in turn, with NFTs, going back to your question, in NFTs, last year, it was around March, all of a sudden you start seeing NFTs all over the place. And as I am nosy, I start asking a couple of people around me. And some of them dismissed me. It's just like, oh, that's a waste of time. Others, said it just like, just like, it's not green. I've spoken to other artists, and how the mining and all of that is like, okay, fine. And what else, Yes. And then I ask another organization, they completely dismiss me. It's like, okay, fine. So then it means I have to do this by myself. So I started going to YouTube, and just like Long Live, all these creators and the variety of videos. So I, by myself, learned how to open up an account in Coinbase. Then I have been reading, just like, of course, again, the gas fees, how to minimize or diminish them. So I learned about Polygon, and then I learn how to buy myself and watching a video 15 times at least, because I am not a techie. Okay, I'm an almost 55-year-old now parent of a 14-year-old, who lives. I speak languages. I have all of these different experiences, but being a techie is not one of them. So, but it just what the big lesson here, it just like, if you really want to do it, the big lesson one more time, if you really want to do something, there's always a way to do it. And for me as a parent, it's that reaffirmation that is a message that I need to keep sending my daughter, in every situation that we are in and that she's in. What may look impossible, there's always a solution.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty impressed. Like, honestly, I know you have to go soon, but I'd like to do this. So I'm not sure how much about me, but like, I work with a great team of amazing people. And, after you pop off, I think for anyone who's watching, we'll show the Fifth Element gallery where you can, video that you can, catch a quick look at Rainbow and some other artists that did kind of that Rocket Gallery collab. But I'd love to have you back.
Thank you. And with Rainbow.
Yeah, yes, and with Rainbow, like sometime, that would be awesome. And B, I'd actually, known about Rainbow for a little bit, but until I was preparing the things below, the link tree, I put it in the comments as well. Check it out. There's a lot going on, like you said, with the books and the NFTs and stuff. So I'd almost like to do a featured article.
Thank you.
On our site. And I mean, I think just a fully fledged Rainbow Mosho gallery in the Uplift would be really cool. If you guys are interested in that, I think like you guys have got one heck of a collection on OpenSea, I think that would just be great. And you know, we know some people that might be able to build it for you, or you could collab with them, maybe the Rocket Gallery, and them guys could help out or something. But I just think it would be really cool. I personally went into the last the last collection, the Rogue Girls collection, and I kind of fell in love with it. Like the fact that like the NFTs in general are great, but the fact that she's pulled out a variety of different, you know, cultures to be able to write and like to be able to put an NFT around is really cool. But from what little I know about it, there's also a story that goes along with everyone. And of course, like I read the story about the Japanese rogue girl. You know, she's a ninja, and because I live in Japan, if you didn't know, that's where I'm based. And so like this is like some pretty deep stuff. It's like, you know, I forget exactly what it was, but it's like 16th century, like, you know, somebody did something bad, and so she trained to become a ninja. And like my rendition of that story is horrible compared to hers, right? Like it was a really well written story, right? So this is a really interesting, you know, way to promote NFTs, because I think a lot of times it's just the image,
Thank you.
Or it's just the marketing.
Thank you.
There seems to be a fully fledged, you know, you know, almost well-rounded variety of pieces that are all kind of fitting together, and it kind of seems to be, you know, past colliding in the present with a variety of aspects that is just kind of, in my personal opinion, we're just kind of starting to see the beginning of it. So, I mean, congratulations to like her and her art, but also, you know, congratulations to you, because I think, you know, hats off to you, being able to figure out a way just to empower her and through her other people in the world, right? Like, I just think it's really amazing. So.
Well, thank you. I just want to say yes, thank you. And the path of being nosy, there's always yes, you know, because it's just fantastic. Because there's always the reaffirmation. You will always find good people, and you will always find those individuals who will give you that lending ear. They'll provide the support, and they'll let you know. And just like, have you tried this? Have you considered that? I have a mission. Like it's Rainbow just turned 14 5 years ago. When she was 9, I told myself I am not going to wait until 16, 18 and wait for the school system to tell me what could happen with my daughter. So I began, and around that age, 8, 9, 10, her art started to transition drastically. And I told myself there's something that we must do about this. So that's why I've been gently, smartly, pushing my daughter to understand the process as I understand her diagnosis and what the challenges could be with art. You know, she just was commissioned by a local business here in Nashville who got her to create art for 4 bicycles that are in the city of Nashville and that can be lent through the library system. I was floored. Again, I never looked for this opportunity. These people came to her and said, I saw your art on the Nashville sign, which is a big sign here. I saw your blog entry by the Arts and Business Council here in Nashville, and I want you to create art for my project. It's like, oh my. But the challenge with that came about during the creative process. She had never created on a template because her mind doesn't see limitations and doesn't see boundaries. So I, as a parent, here I am helping her verbalizing and giving her those keywords that will help her realize I don't have to be limited. You know, I can create even though there is a set line around this space. And she came up with this awesome story for one of the bike arts. And that is didgeridoo. This is all her. Okay. And I asked her, where did you get this idea from? It's like, Mom, my brain is like, holy cow. It's like a didgeridoo from Australia falls in love with a saxophone from Nashville, and they're going around town, you know, just sharing and expressing their love for music and their love for each other. So she drew some of these iconic items that we have here in the city, the bridges, the Batman building, and also the word respect. Now that she has a voice, she demands respect. And this is where the role girls come in big time, because the role girls, they are all fighting for justice. They're demanding respect. And as girls, women, they don't want to be hearing anyone telling them, no, this is not what you can do. And again, this is all her. So I am in constant surprise by my child, in awe, and just again staying the course, staying positive. She just turned 14 yesterday, and the sky is the limit, as to what we're going to be able to keep helping her achieve. And thank you for this opportunity, you opening the door again to communicate, to share her message. Thank you for the invitation to come back. Yes, I will make sure we choose a time. So it's going to be her. And just get ready and get ready for random, and get ready for what she shares and how she shares it,
Right.
which is important, and for that space you've created.
Yeah, and I mean, like seriously, just feel free to hit us up if you need a time that's outside of the regular window, because we're more than happy to book you in. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. And I know you have to go, but definitely check out the Fifth Element gallery, which is in Genesis, I believe.
Yeah, I think I've seen that in the description.
Pull a link up here and drop it in the comments for anyone who might be watching. It was a really cool, collaboration with Rainbow and a bunch of other really interesting artists.
Oh, so impressive! That's Fifth Element. Yes, Cedric, Joao, Joey Chapeta, Barbara lies in there. Kira, becoming the Fifth Element, Rainbow's art, all element related. Very impressive.
Yeah, it was really cool. Definitely check it out if you haven't. The links above. Again, thank you once again for joining us, and I definitely look forward to all to come in the art space, in the NFT space, and to hear more about the amazing things that you guys are doing. And Rainbow especially is striving towards next time that we have you on the show. Thank you.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, and tons of luck always, and we'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.